Hello Aries, this reading is for you. I have 3 different decks that I'm using for this reading, and I'm going to close the reading with a tarot card or tarot cards. Again, depends on how many fall out. Okay, I may use a dice or another deck. I've got another deck sitting here, the Healing with the Fairy Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue, which I may use. But let's see what these 3 cards have for you. The first card I've got here is from the Wisdom of Oracle deck, and you have the No Place Like Home. I absolutely love this card out of the her deck. It always portrays a lot of things for me here, and this could be for some of you, you're discovering a new place to live, okay? Or maybe you've been thinking about moving. Some of you have been wanting to make that change, or it certainly could also mean that you're wanting to make a change where you feel that you can grow. All right, this could be now, because it's a general reading, it's not going to correlate to everybody, but this could also refer to a relationship or a partnership, and maybe some of you moving on to a partnership or leveling up in a partnership where you feel that there is a sense of connection so deep and so strong that you feel that you can actually really shine in this relationship, and it is some relationship that could also grow and develop into something very, very special. For some of you, if this is not sort of resonating, it could also I feel that it could be to do with your place of work as well as your home, okay? And I'm getting the feeling that some of you have been searching for a place that you could really call your home as well, and that is something that you've been really thinking about for some time now, and the early stages of that possibility could be appearing. Okay, let's have a look at the next cards here. I've got the Moon or Queen, the Moon Oracle. I don't know why I can never say this. Queen of the Moon Oracle. I always get myself quite confused with this title. I don't know why, but it's a beautiful deck. It's one of my favorites, actually. It's just beautifully illustrated. It's beautiful, just, you know, messages, and you'd think with me loving it so much that I'd able to remember what they're called. But anyway, you had 3 cards that have come out. I've not looked at them, and so I've taken all 3. Before I move on to those though, I just feel like you are definitely being guided, I want to say, because here, yeah, some of you could have actually at the bottom of the deck here with the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, the first row, we've got the higher power and a change of wind. So I wondered if some of you have actually now reconsidering an option or an offer, okay? Perhaps some of you are also feeling that you've been going through something over and over again, and you're now wondering if it's best for you to move away from a situation, which is interesting because that was something I was really picking up as well. There is going to be a change, okay? There could be a change suddenly, and for sure with Mercury retrograde going forward now suddenly, okay, it feels like we've been in such big major retrograde motion for a while that there could be a lot of changes coming, and maybe you even changing your mind about 1 or 2 things. But with this card here as your kind of at the back end of your deck, trust that you have the higher power guiding you. I also want you to really connect to your higher power, and particularly connect from the crown chakra, okay, all the way down into your body, because when you start actually feeling the embodiment, so rather than just thinking something, okay, I want you to just really take it into your body and ask yourself, is this the right place for me? Okay, is this the right person for me? Okay, is this the right partnership for me? Okay, some of you could maybe gone somewhere, maybe work-wise, you've kind of looked at it, maybe you've applied for a few jobs, and then you were thinking from ages that maybe you wanted to do this work, and suddenly you find that you've actually sort of feel different about it. Again, please trust these nudges of change. We've all been undergoing quite a lot of shifting within ourselves as well, you know, collectively. So maybe what appealed to you a few weeks ago, even a few months ago, suddenly doesn't have any bearing to what you feel like you want to do, or it could be the other way around. Okay, something could be coming back, but the most important thing is you engage in your higher connection to yourself. Very, very important. Okay, so let's have a look at what these 3 cards are. Yeah, so again, you see discernment. So this is what I was really implying earlier on. You've got to be able to really tune in to what's right, okay? As you can see, some of you not be able to maybe see the wood for the trees at the moment. You can see there's a big cloud at the top of her head, sort of obstructing her view, and she can't see things. But this is why it's so important that you stay centered in your body, because if you see the sun again right in her midriff, you can use your gut. I mean, they say your gut is your second brain and your intuition, and you can actually sense, okay, you know, we can really rationalize things in life, and we've all been raised, a lot of us, as to rationalize things, to make sense of what sounds reasonable or what needs to match our reality, what we think rather than what we really feel. And it's really important now that we're moving into the times of what is important, what you feel. Okay, I'm just also picking up that trust what somebody is saying or how they're showing up. All right, so if what I'm saying is, if they're speaking to you in a certain way that you just actually think, wow, you know, I can't believe they're actually speaking to me that way, trust that that's just not a one-off, and be very discerning in your affiliations with people around you. This is really important. It's really time to release anything that does not match your higher self and your higher power. All right, there's nothing egotistical about that. Try not to rationalize that, oh, you know, well, people are probably just struggling, this, that, and the other. Best to release anything that has no bearing to your truth and what gives you a peace. Actually, I mean, suddenly now I'm going back to this card, and I feel like maybe making peace as your prerogative and your priority. All right, when we make things like a value, like peace being high value, you won't able to be around anything or anyone that's not peaceful. That could be loud environments. It could be a workplace that's too loud, perhaps, or maybe at home there's certain things that are feeling unsettling, okay, and not peaceful. Again, just really think about how you can actually release some of the problems that you could be experiencing or have been inflicted upon. All right, now if some of you are having to make a change as well, here I've got trust. This is your second card from the Queen of the Moon Oracle, and I love this card as well. If you see that she's sitting in an egg, so something is wanting to hatch. All right, we've got this duck sitting at the top of this egg, and there's a tiny figure, or rather a figure, inside this translucent egg. All right, I feel like you are going to get something is going to come in. I don't, you know, something is actually going to kind of make itself known. And that's going to alert you to a direction that you hadn't even thought about. Okay, perhaps you maybe felt that you were squeezed into a situation, or maybe you didn't know. I feel like some of you have been in a difficult situation here, Aries, and I just feel like in some way you just got to kind of extend yourself, all right, and trust what could be coming in. Do make sure that you're really looking out for anything that could be not a fit. But I also want to say as well, for some of you as well, please get your ducks in order as well. So in the meantime, if there's no action and no activity that you can actually sense that's ahead of you, all right, this is a really good time to actually get certain things aligned and certain things in order, okay? No time is ever wasted, and if you feel like maybe you need to sort of just get things, sort your things out, maybe get rid of some clearing, yeah, I was getting a feeling that you can't see things clearly, and here this is a third card of the same deck that it's signifying something that you can't see very well. This is darkness, so some of you can't see the path very well ahead of you. Okay, look, we've got a rabbit here in the foreground as well, and it's in a dark rabbit, so you can't see it, you only see the shadow. But what's important is there is something very fruitful that's going to appear. Okay, the rabbit also signifies fertility and what you call it, new opportunities, you know, something that you're going to be able to move towards. Rabbits tend to really hop forward. All right, this one is standing still at the moment, and it's looking at its path ahead, but it's not making a move. And perhaps this is what you're doing, that you're looking at certain things in your life that's appearing, but yet you're unable to make a move. All right, so it will eventually make itself known. If you see the moon there as well as eclipsing, right, there's like almost like an eclipse here, long night moon, it says, but there is a darkness to this moon, and eventually it will just sort of shift into a lighter moon where you're going to be able to see clearly where you need to go, or your your path ahead. Basically, it will be illuminated. That's what I'm trying to say. But in the meantime, stand strong, stay rooted, and just trust that things will be revealed. Okay, let's have a look here on the third card here. Okay, I've got the cards, the life purpose of flowers. Some of you, this could be a literal, that maybe you're thinking of changing careers and you maybe want to work with flowers. But I'm reading this as actually really bringing in the sense of the flowers are often presented and bring us a lot of beauty in our lives. So I feel like with some of you, while you're in this waiting stage, to actually do things that are beautifying, that give you beauty, that give you a sense of happiness, the things that actually bring you joy, where your heart is. You know, flowers are one of those things that actually just you cannot love flowers. You know, they're just so beautiful. They come in so many colors. They come in so many different forms. And perhaps this is about you also honoring the difference that you have to share in your life, okay? And maybe instead of comparing yourself to other people where you feel that you can't move forward, I feel like in some way it's really important, and it'd be really good for you to see what beauty you bring out into the world, okay? And maybe during this time, while you're doing more releasing and not moving forward, you can maybe be engaging on sort of checking in with yourself to ask yourself, what will bring blessings to people through my work, or what has heart in my work, and how would I want to show that? Okay, because also with flowers, it's very much, when I say a showy thing, it's something that we see, isn't it? Something very visual. So some of you as well could be working visually with certain things, maybe doing some painting, and maybe some of you actually really want to take up something to do that is linked to flowers, whether it's painting or making flower arrangements. Ikebana, which is a Japanese form of art as well, placing of the flower arrangement is maybe an option for one or two of you. All right, I feel like it's interesting that some of you definitely could be going back to school. At the bottom of the deck here, I've got both study and school. So I wonder if some of you maybe are thinking, while you're actually reevaluating your life, where would bring me peace? What would I like to do that would makes me really feel centered in my being? Okay, that would really be authentic to me. Could mean that you might have to sort of be at a stage where you maybe need to sort of engage in not so much being out in the world, some of you as well, but maybe doing more things to do with studying. And actually, if you look at those two cards at the bottom of the deck here, to do with re-educating yourselves, Aries. So some of you could be maybe wanting to study. Some of you could actually bringing a course out as well. Maybe that would be helping other people to study, okay? Or maybe some of you maybe doing some flowering, again, you know, changing your career into the flower thing. But I'm getting the fact that some of you are going back to school. Now, of course, we are in that sort of phase as well, in the stage of the calendar year, where we've just gone into past Virgo new moon, and it's definitely school time. So some of you could be going back to school, okay, and making certain choices. And I feel that if you are making some choices, if you find that you have gone up the wrong path, right, to do a course that suddenly you notice within the first opening of the term that is not right for you, or you're discovering something else in the meantime that you much prefer, do not be afraid to release it. And again, this is only going to talk to one or two of you as well. Okay, feel free to comment, because we're really interesting what happens. Just let go, okay? And you might, I feel like some of you are going to realize that something needs to change, all right? And it is totally okay to actually, you know, do that, because like I said, also here we've got the change of wind, which is what I've said to you earlier at the bottom of the deck. But I feel like some of you are realizing something that is maybe not working for you, or you're realizing that in order for something to work for you, you've got to make a course correct. All right, I'm going to leave these kind of readings, these oracle card readings as they are, and I'm going to move into the tarot. Okay, some of you will definitely be pondering your options and have come in maybe feeling a bit, what do you call it? Not high and dry, but very unmotivated and feeling a bit kind of numb and uncertain, and you've been pondering. All right, but I feel that if you actually really go into your heart and check in with your authentic self, which is no place like home, card, which is the opening card. This is your ruling card, okay? It was your first card that came out. So this needs to be something that you really keep in mind of what is going to bring you the joy and happiness, and be very discerning. Listen to yourself over anybody else, including me, all right? Because you are going to get an opportunity, and you're going to get the clarity. Here we've got the Page of Coins that came out, just that one single card for you guys that's popped out. Okay, now I love this card. If you look at him, there is a glowing light here, as if you're just going to get some kind of notice on what it is. All right, this is almost very specific, you know, that I feel like some of you are going to get some clarity that you need, where you can actually start actioning and moving forward. Okay, it's really important that you trust yourself and start facing the truth of what it is that you want to grow and you want to cultivate in. Okay, so this is going to be also, we can use, you know, take this reading as in a relationship as well. All right, some of you might actually have somebody returning and you want to check that, is this going to be, you know, is this going to bring me peace? Is this going to bring me warmth and all the positive aspects into my life? Or is it going to be a repeat of something that you just think, oh my God, I'm just doing the same thing over and over again? If some of you feel that you're in a stalemate as well, do not hesitate to sort of bring that into a conversation, or, you know, maybe you're realizing that you've been doing the same thing over and over again, and maybe it's now really time for you to let go of the habits or the partnering that you are actually in, or maybe just release the negative toxic mind. Obviously this is a very general reading and it can't speak to everybody in the same way, but I will say that it's really important, Aries, that you really trust your heart. All right, yeah, because, you know, you can't keep on going. I've got here both, having a look at the bottom of the deck, you've got the Nine of Swords here. So this is the card of like doing things over and over again, you know, and you're now, I mean, if you look at him in here, he's just sitting there thinking, really? Okay, this is not the usual scene where he's sitting, lying down in bed, but he's actually recognizing that a lot of his efforts has been, not only futile, but this is now time to stop what you've been doing. So this is going to speak to one or two of you Arians, okay? And very much about now going towards something that brings you a lot more joy and a lot more happiness. And some of you, it could be literally going back to study, okay? But it has to be something that you're going to love and it's going to really nourish you and bring you a lot of joy. So I'm going to leave the reading here, Aries. I hope you've got something from this reading. I'm going to actually do one card for you guys here. I'm feeling that I want to do a bonus card for you guys. Let's have a look. Okay, they have been pre-shuffled, so let me see if there's going to be a card for Aries, please. What would Spirit like to share with Aries? Okay, that one's stuck into my hands. Yeah, peace of mind. There you go. All right, so you need to do things that are really bring you peace of mind. Make choices, Aries, you know, whoever's listening to this with an Aries placement. Okay, we've also got the North Node in Aries, right? I think it is, isn't it? Is it Aries North Node? Libra South Node. So, you know, and I'm saying that because this is a time, especially if you've got that the displacing, that it's really important that this is a soul evolutionary year for you, 18 months. And you could make having a peace of mind as one of your key values to follow, and then notice what choices you're able to make, or what life you're creating out of the choice of making peace of mind as one of your high values. All right, I'm also picking up that some of you definitely can do with going out for a walk in nature as well to get that peace of mind, because Aries, you're a natural fire sign, okay, and you can get really fiery very quickly. I know that, and I know a few Aries who display that kind of trait. So really important that you really turn your back away from things that are really not nourishing you, and stay rooted. Like I said earlier, it's really important that you stay rooted in yourself as much as you can see. And if you can't see your way out of something, make peace the light for yourselves. Okay, I think I might call it that, you know, make peace the light for yourselves. All right, lots of love here, Aries. I'm going to, finish the reading here. I hope you got some sustenance and some encouragement and inspiration from this reading. And I will catch you in my next video And I'm thinking of doing these once a month as my schedule is really kind of getting quite busy. So I'll be doing them usually around the new moon. So do look out for them, and obviously if you subscribe to my channel, you will be notified through your subscription that the video has been released. Do check your other placements, and if you're not a North Node Aries, but you have a North Node elsewhere that you know, I recommend that you might check that for an extra layer of a better, in-depth reading. All right, lots of love, Aries. I will catch you next time. Bye for now. Bye.